This could be the beginning of human spaceflight. Like, everybody gets to go, not just a select few. Go on, get. All right, this is how not to do this.
For thousands of years, rockets have remained relatively the same, and every spacebound rocket has had to carry enormous amounts of fuel to get out of the atmosphere.
Which is kind of a huge problem. So we researched a hypothetical solution, a system that uses the atmosphere rather than fights it. So today we will be talking about air-breathing rocket engines.
Specifically, the world's first successful prototype, which was tested in the summer of 2019. And we know about it because we were there.
In order to get your car 50 miles down the roadway, you're going to need a fuel source of about 1 gallon. But in order to get your car 50 miles vertical into orbit, you're going to need a fuel source the volume size of about 3 of these houses. Harris, you want to do a little history?
Let's go back to the moon landing, or even the series of missions preceding the moon landing that entered Earth's orbit. Every single orbital rocket since then contains a tremendous amount of propellant. But in order to transport this, you need even more propellant. In fact, up to 96% of a spaceship's mass is propellant, consisting of fuel and oxidizer. This is a result of one of the most difficult aspects of space travel, leaving the atmosphere. To fight gravity and leave Earth, you need to go more than 8 kilometers per second. This onboard propellant dependence has remained the greatest obstacle to reaching orbit since humankind's first attempt. So much so that many consider the giant leap for mankind not to be stepping on the moon, but attaining Earth orbit.
Well, what if we turned our greatest obstacle, the atmosphere, into an asset, and breathe the oxygen from the atmosphere into a rocket engine and use it as propellant rather than carry the oxygen on board? For years, engineers have worked towards this and failed.
Until one day Aaron Davis called us, attempting to describe this phenomenon and explain his solution, the Fenris engine.
We didn't fully understand it, but we did want to go to the desert and film some dude blast a rocket off. So, we went.
Three gallons of kerosene to change the world. I can't think of an engine in history that when it was invented, it didn't blow up the first time,
So yeah, the stakes were pretty high.
Mojave Tower, test pad 3. Get out of here, guys. Get out of here. Yeah, they're going. That's why we gotta hurry, because my battery's gonna be dead soon. Unplug it! Unplug the power washer! Well, how are we gonna do this? That's not gonna work. Fuck. All right.
I'm not kidding, the data
Go on.
won't restart.
Well, go on, get. All right, this is how not to do this.
But in the middle of the Mojave Desert, in 120-degree heat, on July 25th, after an entire day of setup, the thing actually worked.
The fire went out the back, it pulled air in. That is an air-breathing rocket. That is a Fenris engine. Never before seen, first time here. Woo!
It's pretty complicated.
Yeah, it's literally rocket science, but here's the engineer Scott post-test.
This is the intake. This only has evidence of heat treating and a little bit of carbon built up on it, right? And then this is the other side that has all the exhaust residues on it. It's unequivocal proof that it works, basically.
The rocket engine is inspired by Tesla valves that Nikola Tesla invented in 1920. These valves allow fluid to flow in only one direction.
It's kind of like how this sponge filters water in from one end and poops the water out on the other end. Similarly, Fenris takes in the atmosphere, which contains 21% oxygen, compresses it, and burns it as propellant.
And amazingly, this means that the Fenris has no moving parts.
It's a hybrid rocket motor. You don't have to carry as much oxidizer as you would on a normal rocket motor. A normal rocket motor carries all of its own oxidizer and fuel. So it changes the rocket equation.
meaning we could take much higher capacities into orbit.
Not only that, but in theory, you could travel from Australia to the US in about 25 minutes.
And we could more effectively defend ourselves against asteroids.
We could even send you to space.
And your mom.
And your cats.
Anyway, the potential benefits of an air-breathing rocket engine are endless.
So we want to know how you would like to see this technology being used.
Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on so we can explore something new together.